Thank you. All right. Thank you everyone for joining the first chapter meeting of spring 2021. And so we are associated with Texas State University, obviously. We're also associated with the Wildlife Society, which is international, which is the emblem in the middle here. And Texas State University, like I did say, the biology department. This is just our calendar. It is not filled up yet, and I will explain. So this says first chapter meeting. Oh man, I'm sorry guys, that's wrong. My fault. But the second chapter meeting will be with VetPaw is the acronym. And Josh, could you tell us a little bit about VetPaw?
Yeah, no problem. So I'm actually in contact with the president of this nonprofit organization that's down in South Africa. That's the power of Zoom. You can really contact anyone now. So that's pretty cool. The acronym VetPaw stands for Veterans Empowered to Protect Africa's Wildlife. So these guys are actually under contract with all the different types of wildlife refuges that are down in South Africa. And they basically act as an iron shield around these refuges for a certain amount of time to protect what they call the big grays or the white, black rhinos and African elephants and any, I guess, large megafauna against poaching. They are a big anti-poaching unit and they are recognized because their employment is just a bunch of military vets that have volunteered their time to protect and conserve these wild animals. So I guess I saw them on Instagram and I followed their page and I've been watching their videos and what they do. And I was like, God, like that would be so awesome to try to contact them. So I did. I sent a message to, I guess, their social media person on Instagram and she got back to me. She sent me the president's email and here we are, like we have a meeting booked up with him. So I think that'll be a really neat presentation, something pretty unique to Texas State and out of the country. So we have that plan and I'm planning to meet up with him through Zoom next week to just figure out all the little logistical type of things. And hopefully we could bring out some new resources and some cool features about this program to y'all.
Thank you, Josh. Yeah. So as an introduction, Josh is our current vice president and myself, I'm Amanda Jackson. I am the president. I might have been in contact with a few of you over email, well, many of you, because we have a lot of new recruitments, which is awesome. But thank you, Josh. We are very lucky to get to, broaden our horizon because of being on Zoom. Obviously, South Africa is very far away. Usually we have chapter meetings in person and in a pretty large auditorium room through our Supple Science building. But with this, we can host as many people as we want and with people from all over the world, relatively. So again, that'll be February 10th, the second chapter meeting. Ignore my mishap. The 24th will be our third chapter meeting. And it'll also fall on the same day as the Texas Chapter Wildlife Society Conference. And I'm going to tell you all about that a little bit more. But yes, that does go on during the week, during school hours. Again, I'll get into that in a second. And then this is to be determined. I'm still in contact with someone, but it's looking very likely that we will get to do this. Recently, last semester, a good member of ours acquired a Adopt a Spot program through the city of San Marcos. And if many of you have been there, if you have not, it's a beautiful spot. It's a big part of San Marcos. It's called Rio Vista. It's where a lot of the tube chutes are that folks go down when they're, in groups over the summer. It's a popular spot throughout the year even too, because it's next to Ivar's. It's a really popular restaurant. But anyway, we will be cleaning up that spot throughout the year and for as many years as we'd like. And after 6 cleanups, they will put a plaque in our Wildlife Society's name, which would be really great exposure for our Wildlife Society and for all of our members as well to get to be involved in that kind of process. So we hope to do that February 20th. We will post a sign up, but we might do it hours throughout the day, or we might just do it one chunk of the day where the officer team will be there. So you'll get to kind of meet and greet the officer team as well. We are going to be socially distanced completely. We are not going to stretch any boundaries here. We're complying with CDC. We're complying with the Student Organization Council as well. Everyone will be masked up while they're on land, and we might have the opportunity to get to dive in the water. Only if you're scuba certified will you get to use your gear, which might be allowed, but also we're going to rent snorkeling gear from there's a rec center that you can rent it from, and then also
San Marcos Dive Shop.
Josh has a contact through San Marcos Dive Shop. So that would be great as well. So look forward to that. And I'll keep y'all in the loop of the plans for that in my contact. So anyway, sorry, something's happening to my computer. Okay. So how can y'all benefit from the Wildlife Society, specifically the Texas State Wildlife Society? I want to show a short video. It is 5 minutes long, but bear with me, it's a great video. So let's get through to here. Let me know if the sound doesn't work.
Over 100 years ago in North America, wildlife was severely depleted. The reasons were market hunting, habitat deterioration, and poor or no management. The response to this was the formation of the Wildlife Society in 1937.
In these 75 years, the Wildlife Society has expanded from classic game management to a broad conservation mission. The Wildlife Society has grown to over 10,000 members who come from many cultures and backgrounds throughout the world.
These wildlife professionals are passionate about nature and the outdoors and are committed to a sustainable future for wildlife through science-based management.
Through the work of its members, the Wildlife Society has made real strides toward that goal. And today, more than ever, there's opportunities for dedicated and energetic young people to make a real difference.
When we come into a wetland where we're marking individuals, we will shine spotlights, and once we spot an alligator, we will stick a noose around their neck. Once they get a little tired out, we can pull him up on the airboat, and we're able to mark that individual that will allow us to track his movements and habitat use later on. In 2009, I had the opportunity to be a part of the Leadership Institute, and I feel like it was a really important process for me to really hone my leadership skills, and I've been able to use those skills in my current career.
So we're looking for a fairly secretive animal. Arguably, it might be the rarest animal in North America. We are spotlighting for black-footed ferrets, and what we're looking for is eye shine in the middle of the night. Hang on just a second, I've got some way out there. And once we locate ferrets, then we'll attempt to capture them. We'll transport it back to a mobile processing center, and then we'll mark them individually using passive integrated transponder chips. I became involved with my local student chapter of the Wildlife Society at Humboldt State while doing my undergraduate work. And like most student chapters, they were closely tied to the local state chapter. And then from there, I became more involved with other activities. My involvement with TWS enabled me to network and then also build my career professionally.
The Wildlife Society supports the development and the work of professionals in many ways, through mentoring, through conferences, through training, through workshops, and through peer-reviewed publications.
not all of my time is spent out in the field playing with alligators and with ducks. I spend a large amount of my time managing public use on the refuge and managing a hunt program. Hunters are important parts of the wildlife management system because they help us regulate wildlife dynamics that would otherwise be uncontrollable. They also dump a lot of money back into conservation efforts through programs such as the duck stamp.
Our profession is facing a leadership challenge with all the anticipated retirements that are forthcoming. One of the ways the Wildlife Society can help prepare biologists for meeting those challenges is through the certification program. It also provides an avenue for wildlife professionals to support conservation work independent of their organization or agency they might work for.
Right here at the tail girl. Future challenges for the wildlife field, in my mind, are going to be people-based, population growth, expansion, people moving into areas where they typically wouldn't have inhabited 50, 100 years ago.
The challenges for wildlife in the future will continue to grow, but the Wildlife Society will be there to meet those challenges.
As wildlife biologists, we have an obligation to future generations to ensure that we can serve the wildlife that we have so they'll be around for future generations to enjoy.
The Wildlife Society matters to me because it's a really important avenue for sharing ideas and building the future of wildlife management together.
In so many ways, the Wildlife Society will help address the environmental challenges ahead, so that 75 years from now and long after that, wildlife will continue to survive and to enrich the quality of life of future generations.
All right. Did that work out well for everyone, Josh?
Yes.
Yep, everything sounded good.
Good, great. So, like you all saw, Jenna Moon, the first woman that you saw with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, she actually went on to be the Texas chapter of the Wildlife Society president in 2019. So we got to meet her on multiple occasions. Wonderful human being. She advanced so far into her career. And again, that I hope that highlighted everything that you can gain from the Wildlife Society. And I'm going to show you some more here through some photos. So what we've been doing for the year throughout the pandemic was we hiked and did a lot of fun games. We had like an iNaturalist bingo. If you're not familiar with iNaturalist, it's a phone app that a lot of outdoor people use, and I highly suggest you to download it if you're at all interested in, figuring out something that's in front of you. You don't know what it is. A biologist or a professional will answer it quickly and right away. But again, we played bingo through that. We had a wilderness survival workshop that we did with a past alumni member who did a fantastic job. We go on to the left picture, we go on many social adventures. Of course, this is COVID dependent, but this is what we've done in the past previous years. We go tubing and we collect a bunch of trash along the rivers, and we'll spot birds, we'll spot herps. And then to the right is working with TPWD, Brian Scott. He's a game warden in Guadalupe County. He hosted a field first aid workshop for us out at Freeman Ranch. That is a ranch that you'll be using a lot with your wildlife classes. That was a good crowd, and we got to learn a lot from Dr. Walter as well, who was co-hosting and teaching us all just everyday things we should know in the field. To the left is Josh working out with TPWD, and Kiana worked with TPWD, and a lot of our close members got the chance to do deer hunt tag checks and to take all the proper data collection measurements there with them and get to gain some close contacts with Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. To the right is our annual deer capture. It has been canceled the past 2 years, but stay tuned for this fall. It'll occur in the month of November annually, and they've invited us for about the past 10-ish years because it's an ongoing research project, but it's the net gun of whitetail deer from helicopter surveys and ATV surveys and data collection that usually occurs in Kingsville, Texas. But we'll take a large group of folks out there from our Wildlife Society for a full weekend, and everyone will get some hands-on experience. And then to the left there is when we had some raptors join one of our live meetings. This was before the pandemic, but that could be subject to change. We never know with the vaccines coming out and coming more available. If something does happen where we can have on-person meetings for this semester, we will definitely get some live specimens in for everyone, because that would be eye-catching, and I would hope everyone is as excited as I would be for that. But yes, that's one of our larger falcons that we had in from Zach Gorman and with Sally De La Housey. I'll show you a PowerPoint later this evening where you might get a chance to meet and work with some falcons with no experience required. So stay tuned for that as well. To the right, every Halloween we try to do something fun for the members. Everyone dresses up and attends meetings, whether it be online or not. And we brought in some snakes from Dr. Forster's lab student, who I believe is still here or may not have graduated, but still we'd love to bring in some specimens for y'all. And we go hiking a lot. We can still go hiking during this pandemic. We will plan for some more as well. Of course, staying in tune with the school. But to the left, that is Ringtail Ridge, and that's real close by for everyone to be able to get to on their own. And then to the right is Purgatory Creek. And we do track casting as well while we're there. So we'll use like plaster of Paris molds to track any deer or fox or dog or just anything, something that people can take home. And as well, we do a lot of educational outreach. We'll visit state parks, like on the right, we were at Goose Island State Park, and we'll do some work for them. And then on the left is at the Meadows Center. It was Indigenous Peoples Day, and we get to present all of our specimens, our fun educational boards for children, and the public love it. It's wonderful for the members to get the chance to attend and have some public speaking skills. Sorry, can you get some water? So the Texas chapter of the Wildlife Society, we have an annual conference every February. Typically it's in person, obviously, but this semester it will be online, and they have done major efforts to make this flow and still be exciting. So that's something that all of you should look forward to, and it should be in everybody's price range this year, which is also fantastic. So here's just a couple pictures. To the left, that is the typical group that we will bring to the Texas chapter conference of the Wildlife Society. It'll be alumni, it'll be our own members, it will be graduate students in the biology department at Texas State. Dr. Fritz and Dr. Walter also attend as well. It's a big old conference, usually ranging around 1,000 to 500 and 2,000 people, where you'll get to chat with all of the wildlife societies, the student chapters, and wildlife professionals from across the entire state of Texas. And we won Student Chapter of the Year award, which means that we served the Wildlife Society's mission statement to its justice in the year of 2019. So that was a major accomplishment for the school, Texas State University. A little bit more details about what will happen this coming February is there will be workshops. There will be a fun fact, like wildlife trivia pub kind of evening. There's going to be many options to improve your professional development skills. And then there will be an awards ceremony for all of the schools and each individual who presents their thesis. That could be undergraduate and graduate or master's students, PhD students at the Texas chapter of the Wildlife Society. So that will be online. But again, we could potentially be virtual with around 1,000 to 500 members. I don't know the exact number. It could be less, it could be more, just depending. So most of the workshops are going to occur around 8 to 12 p.m. And like I said, that's February 24th through 26th. That occurs Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Usually they have it over the weekends, but because it's virtual, they did want to do it during the week. it is very inexpensive to attend this year. Typically, it's around $200 per person because you have to account for all of the food they provide you and the hotel facility they provide you. But since it's online, it is $35 for someone who is a member of the Texas chapter of the Wildlife Society, or a non-member is $55. Again, it's very much worth it. You will get the chance to meet, and there will be like some hangout sessions, so you won't be on a big group chat with like 1,000 members. You'll have some breakout sections to get to know people more personally. There's more details to come as well. They have not sent me everything, but you can also go to their website by just Googling Texas Chapter of the Wildlife Society Conference, and it'll show you a lot more, and it'll have the register button there as well. I'll also send a couple reminders because the date to register by, I think, is around March 1st. So or wait, that wouldn't make sense. It's around a certain date that I will tell y'all. One of the things that we do have with the Wildlife Society, if you're looking to get more involved, sorry, my window is open, hold on. We have an education outreach committee. So many of our members who stay like heavily involved with our society and interact with the officers a lot, you can be new, you can be an alumni member, you can be a current member, it does not matter to us. We just have a couple preferred qualifications. Is you're a paying member. We hope that everyone will pay their $10 dues, which is one semester, $10, and this will grant you to go to events, camping, if that does occur. You're more than welcome to attend our online bi-weekly meetings without paying, but we do just still encourage you to pay so that we can provide more events for y'all and more in-person things for y'all. But to be part of our education outreach committee, we want you to be available for bi-weekly meetings. So that'll be meeting up with our officer team and meeting up with your other colleagues of the committee. And we just hope that you'll have a passion for educational outreach, wildlife, or the environment. Again, if you're part of the society and wildlife biology or aquatic biology or anything wildlife related isn't your major, we are still more than welcome to have you. You do not have to qualify to be a member of our society. We just hope that if you join our education outreach committee, you are hoping to serve those kind of things. So just a couple past pictures that we've done with our outreach committee is, again, the Adopt a Spot. This is what Rio Vista looks like if you have not yet been there. This is a very glorified picture, but it is a beautiful spot nonetheless. Floaters are not there all year round. They're usually there around the summer, but there is plenty for us to clean up. Along the right is a bank where everyone will hang out, lay out their towels and picnic. And to the left is near a major road. And then behind the photo, kind of facing towards you where you're on the screen, is a very popular restaurant. And everyone overlooks the floaters and the tube chutes that you see there. But again, we'd hope that all of our members from the Education Outreach Committee will collaborate with us and find good times to go out there and clean up with our members of the society. You'll also be collaborating with other committee members' ideas. So one thing that they did was the Great Texas River Cleanup, and that was part of the city, and it was a large sum of folks from all over the city, not with wildlife backgrounds in particular, that helped clean up the rivers, all in conjunction of each other on the same day, which helped immensely. And we will be facilitating supplemental materials to the city schools because most of the schools are still online and some schools are in person. The teachers and the professors need help with more materials that they can share online. So we are working as a committee to process that to them and give them a lot of more fun ideas. And we will plan more education-related events with other organizations. So with the city or with nearby cities like New Braunfels, San Antonio, and Austin. This is one of the things we've done in the past at our farmers markets where kids and families very much enjoy our display and they have lots to learn from it. And also, Seth, if you're on, is there anything else you want to add? Because he is our current Education Outreach Committee leader.
No, I think I'll just introduce myself. Well, I have no said, but yeah, I'm Seth Ross. obviously go to school here. Yeah, Amanda said it really well that, you can be of all different majors and backgrounds, and we're happy to have the help. And really, what it is just a way to reach out to the public and get people interested in wildlife and how they can protect it. And that's really what we focus on is educating our local cities on conservation and sustainability matters and things like that. So if you're interested in joining, I definitely suggest it.
Yeah, so I will send out a Google Docs sheet where everyone can fill out their name and information if they'd like to join. And we'll get that committee up and running. Of course, COVID dependent. If we're meeting, we will meet virtual if that's the case. I'm sure all of you are prepped with this with your classes, and that everything is kind of tentative right now. So just bear with us as well. So ongoing, I do want to mention our association with the Texas Wildlife Association. Just recently, they built a beautiful new headquarters, which is to the right. The right photo there is what you see. It's down the road from the Outlet Mall, if all of you are familiar where that is.
It'll be on Hunter's Road.
On Hunter Road, yes. And they dedicated it to David K. Langford, which is someone that we actually have already met through the society and through one of our society contacts. And once we saw that, Josh and I, once we saw that being built, we were excited to get to contact them and collaborate with them. So once we initially met up with them, they agreed that we will partner with our society members on about a 1 to 2 year outlook of volunteer work. And we have a massive list of ideas that we will get to do with them and that we are currently working on with her. It will range from like habitat restoration to educational outreach to on-site working to bringing the city in and to working with landowners. But anything Josh would like to add, I'd like for him to say it now.
Yeah, I think it was during the winter break, we came in contact with the Director of Conservation Specialist. Her name is Eliana Pena, so that's the main contact we're in communication with right now. And just like Amanda said, we suggested all these different types of ideas for this upcoming semester and hopefully farther down the line. And just sticking with educational outreach to different types of workshops that we might be able to host or help with. Like this is just a really big opportunity to, I guess, learn new skills and preach about what we always do to the community with our native wildlife and with our native flora and fauna, to be exact. Mm-hmm. And it's just I guess a great little place to be around too. There's ongoing projects, a lot of habitat restoration with the Blackland Prairie ecoregion in that area. So they're doing some good things there, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and just a little background about the Texas Wildlife Association, also known as TWA. They work with private landowners across the state, and they give them tips and advice and any kind of outlook of how they should be preparing their land for whatever reason they would want to make use of their land. So agricultural purposes and wildlife purposes and restoration purposes. So they work closely with everyone around us relatively, because Texas is 95% private land. So keep that in mind. And this is something that I want to share with all of you. So there's a raptor rehabilitation facility in Lockhart, Texas. And we'd like to offer some independent work for each and every one of you. There is space for 40 people to volunteer. They always need the help. Again, no experience is required. You will get trained on everything. You do need personal transportation to get to Lockhart, Texas, which is about 45 minutes away. A beautiful drive though, on a nice back road. It's a dirt road, but I mean, you don't need a heavy duty car to do it. Any car will do it. You will be feeding birds of prey accordingly, and you'll be trained on that as well. So it will be mostly frozen mice or dead or sometimes live. And you'll have an upkeep of their enclosures and any infestations that are there. So a little background, it's Sally Dalit-Housey. We've worked with her for the past 5 to 7 years with the society, and she's always recruiting our members, whether they're new, alumni, or current. And again, training them on everything they need to know. And it's just on her property. So it's a beautiful little facility. It's not led by a big organization or anything. It's owned by her, and her house is on the property as well. So she's there if you need her. But yeah, again, she takes in birds that need to be rehabilitated across the county. You'll see new birds, and you'll see resident birds there as well that you'll get to know and love. So a couple pictures is to the left. That's one of the screech owls that worked there, or that stayed there. And then in the middle, that was Pretty Lady, which sadly passed, but we did get to build a beautiful facility for her and many perch habitats for her. On the right, that's her as well, where we did have the chance to register some vaccines to her as well. You might get the opportunity to do that with Sally. It's just all dependent as well. But I will be sending out a Google Docs link later this week or potentially tonight, where I can get anyone who is interested, put down your information, and then I'll send out a big schedule for you, and we'll figure out how to get you trained, when, and on a good time. And you can just, we hope that each person will attend once a week. That will make it easier to bring on like 40 people at once, let's say. We hope that you can find one day of a week to drive to Lockhart and then stick to that schedule. If you don't think you can commit to a weekly schedule, you're more than welcome to share a ride with someone, and please practice your COVID guidelines. But you're more than welcome to share a ride with a friend or someone that you already are close with and get to go see the facility as well and just gain a little bit of experience. I do want to mention our participation point system. A lot of our members love competition, and we do too. We get the chance to award 3 of our top members, and we call them our most top active members, and they get these awesome prizes at the end of each semester. So Kate Underwood and Sean McCants, I hope I said your last name right. I don't think I've ever said it out loud before, but they got these awesome Cabela's baskets, as well as Seth, he's not pictured, but you have this point system for everything that you get to do throughout the semester, and you can gain all these points and win these awesome prizes. I have this uploaded to the Canvas site. I'll make sure it's up there for everyone to see. I won't go through each individual point right now, but it's mostly self-explanatory. Again, there's Raptor volunteering here. You can gain some points for that. Downloading the app iNaturalist and posting pictures to your bio. You can send us screenshots of that and we can gain you points. The secretary of our society will keep track of every point that you have. Kiana, she's our current secretary. Do you want to mention anything about that? About how they can view their points at any time?
Yeah, the secretary is going to be keeping track of everybody's points. So at any time, you can definitely feel free to contact myself or whoever the secretary will be this semester and ask them where you are in points. There's a whole spreadsheet full of everybody, so it's taken care of very well, and you can track your own points if you want, and you can, ask them any questions. You can ask them to see it, and you can ask them how you can get points and everything like that. So feel free to track your own points, but someone will be tracking your points for you as well.
Yeah. Okay, and then second to last thing on our agenda tonight is we have edited our Texas State University Wildlife Society Constitution recently. And as per rules, we just have to let every member know what changes have been made, and then we'll make a vote on it at the end. So I'm just going to skim through some things real quick. Bear with me as I announce some sentences. And then we will have just a small voting period right after this. So in our first article, we mention that all members are required to pay $10 dues per semester, and they'll be active in all events, committees, camping, the conference, and overnight events. Whoever's paying can attend meetings. They may attend meetings without paying, and they can bring whoever they want. But again, we request that you do pay your membership dues so that you get to go to all of our live events.
Hey, Amanda, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I know we need to vote on this, and I know I need to create a poll. I cannot create a poll right now until we do the other polls for the officer positions. Should you go over this information at the end so they can remember what it is, or do you want, because I can make a poll after we give the ones I've already made.
Oh.
So I'm just saying that I don't want you to say,
Or
oh,
I can bring this up
forget.
in the second. I can bring it up in the second meeting.
Or after the officer positions today.
Okay. So let me I can exit out of this for now, and then I will go over it once more. And we can actually start officer elections. So
Yeah, I just didn't want you to say all the information, then people have to remember what you actually.
I got that. No problem.
Cool.
Okay. So with that, we will go ahead and start officer elections for this semester. Dr. Walter is going to help facilitate these votings for us, and y'all will have polls that will appear on your screen. Each candidate is going to give a spiel about themselves and a presentation. They're all compiled to a certain amount of minutes, so this shouldn't take forever per se. Give me one sec while I get situated. But first step will be votes for the president. Dr. Walter?
This is for the president. For the president, it's just Amanda that is running for president again, our current president, and then Josh as well. And so I believe the way this works is just you two are going to give your PowerPoint presentations to introduce yourselves. And then at that point, we take the vote, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And then, as Amanda said, I have already created these polls, so it will show up on your screen, and it's just, you simply click on who you vote for, and it's anonymous as well. Only I will see the results, so everyone they're not able to see the counts, and then I will announce the winner. And then after the president, we'll move on through the other 4 subsequent positions, and then the additional people running for those positions will have a chance to give their presentation as well.
Yeah.
So Amanda, do you want to start with your presentation?
Josh, you're more than welcome to go first so that I can get a sip of water in between here.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'll let you take a break.
Okay.
Go first. So let me share my screen. And let's go there. All right,
good, Josh.
looking good.
Yep.
Alrighty, let me move this up. All right, guys. Well, nice seeing a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces. So I'm glad that the word got out for today's meeting. I really appreciate y'all's efforts in attending today's meeting, and keep on attending. We have a lot of things booked up for this semester, presenter-wise, and a lot of different ideas coming up for outside events. So please stay interested in this society. It's definitely worth your while, and it will help out your resume big time. So as Dr. Walter mentioned, my name is Josh Bledo, and I'm currently the vice president for the society. So I just want to introduce a little bit about me, of who I am as a person. So like most people that join the society, I'm a biologist in training. My major is wildlife biology, and what got me interested into this major is, I guess, just hanging out with my grandfather throughout the summer months after high school and a little bit after middle school. Just was so eager to go to his ranch and hang out, enjoy the different types of birds, and help him with his cattle and horses and all the domesticated type of livestock you could think of. And just being outside in general. I'm an athletic person. I've played sports all my life. So it kind of goes hand in hand with this major of just doing a lot of field work and caring and learning how to conserve wildlife and the environment in general. young conservationists. I've learned so much over these past 4 years of being at Texas State, and now I'm really into the meat of things with the wildlife biology major. I'm in all the fun classes now for the past year or two semesters now. So I'm understanding and I'm applying these different types of concepts that are taught in class, and you just get a better perspective of how the world works and how your field of study works when things are clearly spoken to you from these intelligent individuals. So applying that information, I really appreciate that. Hobbies, I have too many. To start with, I'm an artist, amateur artist. I like to sketch, I like to draw, learning how to paint with watercolor. I like listening to music. Just got into hunting. I love to go fishing on my free time. I just got into nature journaling as well too. Uh, COVID hit me hard, so I picked up a lot of things. I'm a gardener as well too, and just by doing those little activities on your free time, you learn so much little skills that actually help you like communicate different ideas. And especially working in the society, some of those events or little hobbies actually promoted new ideas in my mind, and I just broadcast that to the officer group. And then some of the stuff that y'all been enjoying for the past semesters, it all started with just maybe a hobby of some sort. Like I said, music. I'm a big music lover. So I'm really an old soul by heart too. So 50s to the 2000s country music, bluegrass, Texas country. I'm Hispanic. I have a lot of family from down south in Texas, San Antonio region. So the Latin type genre hits me hard. Tejano, bachata, cumbias, and all the different types of rock genres that you could think of too, hip hop, R&B, whatever. So if you ever want to just, I guess, get to hang out and different society events, I'll make sure I try to bring a little radio out and we could jam out to some tunes. I'm actually the oldest in my family too. So I have a younger brother that's right now in the Army and a younger sister that's about to graduate from high school. Son of two loving parents. I don't think I would be here in this moment and trying to fulfill these leadership roles if it wasn't for my parents and bringing me up the right way, in my opinion. And then I'm a friend to a lot of the officer group and a lot of people that you'll probably get to meet this semester. If it wasn't to, I guess, be surrounded by that strong community of friends, I'd probably be, I guess, mischievous in a way of not staying straight with my college career. So like I said, I'm an artist, and I love to sketch in my free time. This is one of the pieces that I've done in the past. This was actually done during my high school years. And I already knew just from that piece during senior year, like wildlife had a big impact on me. And I still don't have any experience with any of these species, but just from watching documentaries and I guess hearing Steve Irwin and looking at his trips and what he does on TV, just those little impactful moments got to me. Like I said, I like to fish in my free time. This was actually a largemouth bass that I caught during my undergrad research project during my sophomore years of college. So it's fun things like that that you get to do while getting paid and learning different skills. There's opportunities like that, and I would love to, I guess, share those opportunities with you. And just a group of friends during deer capture. About 5 people that I count, including Dr. Walter, are still around. So we're really close-knit community when you talk about wildlife professionals and young students. And some of my past officer positions. So I've been a member for the past 4 years and counting. I've been the vice president for 1 year and the secretary for 1 year as well too. So I have a good amount of experience from the time I've been here as an undergrad, as a freshman to a senior now. And I can provide those different types of skill sets and help out the other officer groups. If they ever have trouble or any questions, they could definitely depend on me. So if you're thinking about what type of experience I have as a young biologist, well, one category would be birds. So I'm just show you some pictures of the different types of fieldwork experiences I've been part of for the past years. This is a golden chick warbler. This was probably during the golden chick warbler surveys that our PhD candidate Rebecca Rhinelander supplied to a lot of the members over the years. And this was the first warbler of the season that I was able to spot, and we named him Shaky Jake because when she was banding him and taking out the mist net, she was always shaky in the hands. So that was a neat experience, and just getting to know that bird and understanding its status as an endangered species here in the central region of Texas. I definitely appreciated that moment. Going to West Texas and staying in contact with the grad students from Star Ross University and meeting up with international students from Chihuahua, Mexico, coordinating with them, working with them on the field, and learning my sparrow species, which is really tough. And you'll learn pretty quickly that they're just a bunch of brown birds with stripes. But it was a great experience, and learning the capture technique of mist netting and working as a team and coordinating with each other and learning from each other with that language barrier in front of you. It was a great experience. And then if you could see all those little white dots, those are probably roseate spoonbills or white pelicans of some sort. But this was, I was volunteering my time with a grad student named Mark Pearson that is still working in Dr. Green's lab with Reg Egrets and his drone work with colonial birds. So got the opportunity to tag along with him and I guess make some new memories and experiences and learn new skills. So if you ever have any questions of trying to get experience in birds of some sort, let any of the officer know that you have interest in that. With invertebrates, so during my sophomore year of college, I got in contact with the SHORE program, Student Undergrad Research Exploration. It's an undergrad research opportunity that is paid by the university. And my topic of study was understanding the natural history and life history of native mussel species in the San Saba River. So I got this opportunity to camp for 4 days in a week, and 4 days in a row during the week in the months of May, June, July, and August, and along the San Saba River, and then come back Fridays for a little meeting afterwards and just take a break during the weekend. But we dove down the river and we kayaked with one of my PhD candidate mentors, and he helped me identify these species, and we tracked and collected so much data from these aquatic specimens and learned so much about them over those short months of time. But I have so much experience in this and the SHORE program that I could provide to y'all. When talking about mammals, so I've had a good amount of time working with large ungulate species when it comes to taking different types of measurements with the CWD sampling that we did with TPWD professionals, to hanging out with the grad student Mark Pearson and getting to experience my first hunting experience, and I guess watching him take down this female nilgai, which is an exotic species from India, to working with the East Foundation and Texas A&M Kingsville and their grad students during the annual deer capture in the fall, and then working with small mammals with some grad students down in Ringtail Ridge Park. So I try to be well-versed. I don't like sticking to just one class of animals or one sort of animals. As I guess the past president from the Wildlife Society told us, that if you're gonna be a wildlife professional, that's the key word, is wildlife, and it's not deer professional or any type of reptile professional. As a young student in this degree, I think you should be well-rounded and be able to help out with anywhere you can in this field of study. And that's how you open up your doors to different types of opportunities once you're ready to graduate. So that's why I always keep in my mind, like, okay, there's this opportunity now. Oh wait, I want to learn about this type of class of animals. let's give it a shot. Let me send in that email. And then it comes down to habitat restoration. This is another type of area that I've been volunteering my time with. This was during the summer of 2019, where I got the opportunity to work with the Integrated Environmental Solutions Company. It's an environmental consulting company that is from North Texas, the Dallas area, and they sent out an email to a lot of the student chapters trying to recruit students to be subcontractors in doing this wetland mitigation work in Corpus Christi. And believe it or not, we had to dig at least 55,000 holes in that plot of land and break through asphalt and translocate different types of wetland species to try to help that area grow and flourish to eventually become what it is in the second picture. And just like I said, while doing these different types of events, and you get to meet really great people, make new friendships, hang out after the work is done, but you definitely learn what hard work is all about. And I'm a big benefactor in hard work and developing your work ethic as a person, because that's what every employer is looking for, is that you know how to get dirty and you know how to work through the pain and then learn at the same time what you're doing and appreciate your work at the end of the day. And then I've worked with a bunch of prescribed burns over the years, at least 4 to 3 and counting, two of them being with the same landowner down in West Texas. But with the help of some alumni and staying in contact with them, they actually got me in contact with this large private landowner. It's a family-run ranch, about 5,000 acres worth of land, and they're currently the 2020 Lone Star Land Stewardship Award recipients of this past year. And they've had at least 3 Texas State students out there for the past 3 years helping them with prescribed burns. What I'm holding right there is a drip torch. So just being part of that activity and understanding that type of land management technique, like I said, you're applying the concepts that you learn in class, and you're getting a better understanding of what you're reading from a book to actually practicing the method on these people's properties. And then staying in contact with landowners. I definitely didn't reach out to them in the first place, but trying to keep that relationship going, that's what it's big, I guess, in Texas in general, because like Amanda said, 95+% of Texas land and our natural areas are privately owned. So that's a big part about this state, is having those close-knit relationships with your local landowners and trying to work with them so they can help you out in the future. And when you're on the same page, conservationally speaking, a lot of great things can happen for members like y'all, or for an individual type of thing of maybe providing future employment for yourself and learning new skills and putting those techniques into play. So for the first picture, that's our contact for the Seven Oaks Ranch down in Ozona, Texas. And then we got Mr. Roy Leslie down in Comfort, Texas, putting on a certain workshop for us and trying to field dress a axis deer. And then this is one of the prescribed burns that we were able to do on the Wayne Walker's private land. And then from me to you, what can I guess provide for you other than these different types of connections that I've been in contact over the years? So far, I've provided 12 speakers to the society, and it doesn't sound that much, but I guess to me, like it did take a lot of investment, a lot of work, a lot of emailing, and just constantly looking back at my Gmail and praying like, oh my God, please answer. Like, I don't want to hold up on the society meetings. But it does take a lot of work and a lot of time out of your schedule. Many events that we've done over the semesters, and seeing y'all enjoy those events and having fun but learning something at the same time. I love that. And then, like I said, fieldwork opportunities, which it comes down to prescribed burns, mist netting, or working with CWD, chronic waste and disease work. Just staying in contact with those connections and allowing you to, I guess, facilitate your role and trying to learn these different types of, I guess, jobs and employment opportunities. I'm just there to help y'all and to be a mentor, be a friend, and be a resource for y'all. So without further ado, like Mr. Pedro said back in Napoleon Dynamite, if you vote for me, all of your wildest dreams will come true. So thank y'all.
Good one, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
And stop share.
And your
Stop share, yeah.
So,
All right, there you are, Dr. Foster. Okay, I will start my presentation, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Hello again, everyone. Let me see here. Okay, I'm Amanda Jackson, candidate for president for this semester, spring 2021. A little bit about me. 24 years old, not that it matters. I'm a senior in wildlife biology, and this is my last semester in school, so I'll graduate in May. From then on, I'm going to move to Alaska with my boyfriend, who's currently a wildlife biologist there in Glen Allen, and we're going to live a happy, beautiful life in, I think, which is the best part of the United States, Alaska. Dr. Walter could attest to that. I served as the president for this wildlife society for a year and a half now, and I've served as an officer for this wildlife society for 3.5 years. So since I got to the school, my very first semester, I threw myself into an officer position, which was the absolute best decision of my life. If any of you are willing to become an officer or even just a dedicated member, it is a giant step in your career towards wildlife biology or anything outdoor related. So I do want to mention a couple internships that I have under my belt. I worked with Wyoming Game and Fish in Lander, Wyoming, where I performed nearly every duty in the office with biologists from fisheries, carnivores, small mammal, ungulates, and the game warden departments. I agree to exactly what Josh said. If you want to be a wonderful wildlife biologist, you need to broaden your horizon and figure out exactly what it is your favorite part of wildlife you'd like to do, or environment related, education related, etc. So a couple pictures here. On the left, this is a grizzly bear that we had to sedate in the fields. He was getting into some campsites. Darn boy. We worked with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and unfortunately did have to put him down, but it was an amazing experience to get to collect data from him and to get to be up close and personal with a large species like himself. On the right, we worked many vegetation surveys to better restore the vegetation in the area for the wildlife of Lander. And then on the left middle is we're assessing some trails near some nearby waterfalls, and it's a lot of trail maintenance surveys that game wardens will do just to make sure that everything is running smoothly and that there isn't any hazardous material blocking some ways where most folks from the city will come. Sorry, my mouth is running dry. To the right is we had our own personal vehicle that we drove around, which was pretty sweet feeling. We used many of the company vehicle trucks, and we got to gain a lot of experience doing that and towing trailers and working across various parts of the whole state is when we drove together. There were 3 of us, which was awesome. And I want to mention, I was a third position that they brought on. Originally, they only did want 2 folks. And the 2 of them that they brought on first were Wyoming natives, and then they realized a Texas girl had applied to their internship. You know, how the heck did someone from Texas find out about them? And they thought it was awesome, so they opened a third position for me, and I happily joined for 3.5 months during summer of 2019 with them. And it was, again, one of the best decisions I've ever made, because we got to do, on the left here is we electrofished all throughout the state with a giant team of fisheries biologists. And then on the right, we worked with game wardens to fence private landowners' beehives from the bears around the area, because they're very naughty and they love honey. But that was an awesome experience as well, was being around a massive amount of bees. And also pictures that I couldn't fit on this slide is a lot more experiences I got to do that I would be more than willing to share with you. Any of y'all can get this internship as well. They do it every summer. And I'm very close with the biologists in that office too. They thought it was awesome that someone from Texas got involved. Also at the same time, I did an internship at Water for Wildlife Foundation, and it's a nonprofit that funds wildlife water guzzlers across the entire United States. I served as a curator for their historical artifacts, and we built a museum in their new headquarters, and all of those artifacts were dating back to the 1800s. It was beautiful pieces of Native American hand-beaded, hand-carved, etc. So again, that's the team that I worked with, and we recruited a lot of sponsorships across the town to help support our water guzzlers with us. There's a couple in West Texas that are actually associated with Water for Wildlife Foundation, which is awesome. It's such a small world. And then that was just a couple of the pieces. That's a buffalo chaps that they would wear riding horseback throughout the town, and hand beaded leather animal skin gloves. And then that's just one of the small portions of the display that I helped prepare. There was absolutely nothing when it got started there, and I did not know I was going to be involved with such a heavy project, but it turned out awesome, and they're still adding more things to it today. Also, I want to mention the Study America program to Yellowstone National Park that I went on back in 2018. Dr. Castro is a wildlife biology professor on the Texas State campus. I'm not sure if he's currently doing the program for this semester. I'm sure it's all potential. I'm in close contact with him, so if he does say anything about plans, I will let all of you know, and especially for next year's plans, if he has that as well. But I highly encourage you to look into this if you want to travel 2 weeks backpacking and camping all across Yellowstone National Park. We did live surveys like human recreation, wildlife populations, and a lot of fishing. We were hiking in the most beautiful places that looked like movie scenes. And one day, all of us, when it was raining, we went back to our tents and grabbed our raincoats. Little did we know, we would assemble a full rainbow. That was awesome. And that was my first time fishing. He teaches you all about fishing, and everyone gets a chance to go. And we would go to the most popular places of Yellowstone National Park, like Lamar Valley, and everyone had their set of binoculars or monocular or scope that he would offer. And you'd be hand counting every single buffalo, elk, wolf, bear, pronghorn, anything that you spotted. And we would do that for hours. It was really rewarding work. I want to mention my contacts that I've gotten throughout the years. Something that my professional development skills have improved is things with wildlife people, outdoor people, environmental education, and nonprofit related companies that I could also share with all of the Wildlife Society as your president. So across the state of Alaska, I am in contact with National Park Service and the U.S. Forest Service and Alaska Game and Fish. In Texas, I work closely with TPWD and U.S. Fish and Wildlife and our International Wildlife Society, as well as our Texas chapter, and then the Wildlife Association, like we mentioned, TWA, and then various biology faculty and graduate students at the university. And also in Wyoming is with my internships, Wyoming Game and Fish, and the Water for Wildlife Foundation. these are just a couple of pictures I want to share from across the years serving positions in the Wildlife Society. On the left, like I said, we won the Texas Chapter of the Year award. That was a giant accomplishment. I was serving as vice president at the time, and basically it meant that we were serving the mission statement to justice, like I said. We got to hold that plaque for a whole year and show it off to our school and show it off to our contacts. So that was a big major achievement for me. And then on the right is the student organization fair at our school. I helped set up that display with everyone, and we won $200 cash prize from the school because we were their favorite table of the day, which was pretty awesome. That $200 went back into the members' education and gain of experience as well. On the left is when we went to Bamberger Ranch with my contacts out at the Sela Ranch, and we got to do bird specimen preps for museums, and everyone got to do a hands-on experience with taxidermy for the first time. On the right is my contact with TPWD, the Game Warden Brian Scott, like I mentioned, where we did the field first aid workshop, which was very successful for myself and a lot of the members. And our contact with Hillingdon Ranch was the Land Stewardship Award. Roy Leslie is awesome, and he always welcomes us back. We love to get the chance to go back there soon. COVID dependent, I'm sure you're tired of hearing that. I am too. But we got to take a huge crew out there to do like ATV rides and truck rides to go across his beautiful hill country. As well as my biggest accomplishment was our skeet shooting fundraiser, where we call it the annual shootout. It happens every spring semester. Unfortunately, it did not get to happen for the past 2 years. It did, or the past year, pardon me. And this was in 2019. We had a wonderful turnout. This is, the left picture is during our wild game barbecue, where around 100 to 200 folks would attend, and we would have raffle prizes. We would have the competition for skeet shooting, and it would be an all-day event at the Freeman Ranch Center. And on the right, along with the help of the officer team, we acquired many contacts and sponsorships for the entire calendar year to better help support our society. And this last photo is my biggest achievement of the Wildlife Society. I got Dr. Walter into a bunny suit. This bunny suit is from Easter in my family for about 20 years running, and it was my favorite part of the day for sure. He looked wonderful. But that's all I have for y'all. Thank you so much. I would love to be your president for this last semester before I graduate here, and I look forward to meeting you all. Let me stop the share. Okay.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Josh and Amanda. For everyone else, if you don't know them clearly, they have put in tons of work. Both outstanding students I've known really since I've arrived here at Texas State. So, think about it, who you would like to vote for president. And then right now, I'm just gonna send a quick poll. And so again, this is anonymous, and you just simply click on the person who you think deserves to be president at this point, okay? And then again, I'll get the results, and then I will announce the winner. Okay, I sent it. And I'm able to see how many people are voting, so it looks like there are a few more. And still a few more. Maybe there are technical complications for some people. I see a couple votes are still coming in though. 5 more seconds to finalize your votes. So Matt, can you speak out loud? Why are some people not able to vote? Because I would like for everybody to vote if possible.
The folks that are co-host cannot vote.
Was that true? So
Yeah, I
that
wasn't able to vote either.
Yeah, that's important. I want to change that because that's unfair. Let's see how I do this. So can you make yourself not co-host? Is that possible, or do I do it?
Pretty sure you do that.
Okay.
Fairly certain.
Yep. Okay, so let me run through just a couple of those people.
I'm able to vote since I'm on my phone and my computer. So I voted on my phone, so I'm good.
That's better.
So that, I think that's everybody except for Josh and let me end you guys too. So I've ended Amanda, let me end Josh now. I think, Josh, were you able to vote?
No, I wasn't.
Mine worked.
Okay, 1 second, Josh.
No problem.
Josh, let me make you co-host, and then now I'm going to withdraw it again because yours was kind of different. I got a lot of names to scroll through here on the people.
Okay, I voted.
You voted? Okay. Okay. Everybody good? Last time? Okay, I'm gonna end the poll right now. And again, I'm not gonna share the numbers because that's kind of a personal thing. And so, Amanda is the new president, actually the recurring president. Yay!
Yay! Thank you, everyone.
Ooh.
It's so awkward because we can't do applause.
Well,
Thank you for the
can.
emojis.
Yeah, just take it off mute. People say we can hear you. That's the best we get to real life nowadays.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that one is done. So let's see, so that moves on. And so now, Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong, but on my list I have the people running for vice president. Again, is Josh, who just presented, so he's not going to present anything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then other people that I see on my list are Kiana and Suzanne.
Yep.
Okay, so right now I'll make Kiana and Suzanne co-host, and we'll just have Kiana go first. Okay, Kiana, you should be able to pull up your presentation.
Awesome. Yes. Okay, everyone can see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay, so I'm Kiana Bertle. I'm a senior wildlife biology major, and I currently am the secretary of the Wildlife Society. So let me start off just by giving you a little bit of background, if I can figure out how to go to the next slide.
Hit the arrow key or something.
It's not working. There we go. Okay, a little background about me. I was born in Illinois. I grew up in New Mexico. I've lived in Texas for like 16 years now. And while I was growing up, I knew I wouldn't be able to stand being in one building every day, doing the same thing every day. So something outdoors with animals was just, it called to me. And so studying wildlife biology, it felt so right for me from the very beginning. And something other than wildlife about me is photography. I really enjoy photography. I've been doing it for a number of years now, and just recently I got really into wildlife photography, and it's incredibly challenging actually, but I really like it, and hopefully I get a lot better at it. So I'm working really hard at that right now. Just something I got really passionate about. Just wanted to share a few things that I've been able to do while a part of the society so far. I've gotten to do the Golden Cheek Warbler surveys, the nest box checks, the bird banding, all with Rebecca, who has been a big part of everybody's experience so far. I volunteered at Sally's Raptor Rehab. I volunteered with Texas Park and Wildlife doing the CWD samples, which was really awesome. I really enjoyed having that opportunity. And I got to help out with some graduate research doing fish surveys, which by far I think has been like my favorite thing that I've done so far, which is surprising because I never thought that I was into aquatic life before, but it turns out I am. I learned so much doing those fish surveys, and I got to do electrofishing, and I got to seine for fishes, and we found a Chihuahua shiner in the Rio Grande, which was awesome. It's rare to find those, so it was really cool to see that. There's a picture there on the bottom of thousands and thousands of Red River pupfish, which was so crazy to see that many. It was really awesome. So I think besides birds now, I'm a fish fan as well. So that's just a few things that I've gotten to do among some other things, and hopefully in the future I get to do a lot more stuff like this, especially with birds, because that's a big interest of mine, and I really want to be able to dive deeper into that interest. And hopefully I get to continue being an officer for the society, because it's really opened up a lot of opportunities for me, and it's been able to let me build my professional kind of experience, and I really, really enjoy it. And I think that I have a lot more ideas and contributions that I can give to the society, and I'd really love to share with you guys. So I really wanted to show you guys quickly some of the things that I've done over the time of being secretary for the society last semester. I created flyers, I took all the photos for our merchandise, and I came up with some ideas for our members to be more included in the society, and I came up with more ideas for us to earn points, for you guys to earn points, because during the pandemic, it was really hard for all of us to find opportunities. So I wanted to help out with that. I wanted to really make sure everybody was doing okay, because, you know, I know we all had a really tough time during the pandemic finding opportunities and just being involved and doing everything we wanted to and feeling okay, you know. So I really want to continue helping with that. I really want to. And with that being said, I really would enjoy another semester being an officer for you guys, and that's all I have right now. So thank you for listening to me. And I did put a bee right here to kind of pay tribute for all the honeybees that were lost this past week in San Antonio. I was pretty sad about that, so I wanted to add that. And that is all I have. So thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, Kiana.
And next we have Cezanne.
Hi, everybody. Let's see. Let me share my screen. Alrighty. Can everybody see what I have on the screen?
Yep, all good.
Yep.
Alrighty. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Cezanne Lawson-Can. I am a junior wildlife biology major. I've been with the society for 4 semesters, and I was historian for 2 of those semesters. Let's see. Here's my introduction slide. A little bit about myself. I have always been a really big wildlife hobbyist. Most of the time you'll find me up in a tree somewhere. During quarantine, I've gotten a lot of new skills, some of them including like cooking, improving my art skills, all that good stuff. Let's see. I think that I would be the most qualified for this position because I have the experience to back it up. In my time as historian, I was in charge of social media management, event coordination, public outreach, and I also got to participate in university-based research. A lot of the social media management I did was Instagram, maintaining our Facebook page, maintaining our bi-weekly flyers, and then event coordination. As you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, that was an event that I coordinated myself, which is our Goose Island camping trip. And the picture in this right here is at the Aransas County Wildlife Refuge. We did a habitat restoration project there. That was a lot of fun. And let's see. More experience that I have, I travel a lot. I've been to 20 state parks, 7 national parks across 22 different states. I would list them, but it would take my entire presentation time. That's been a lot of fun. Again, the bottom left-hand corner, that is also at Goose Island. They have the big oak tree there, which I believe is the biggest oak tree that they have in Texas. And then the middle picture I took on a backpacking trip to Minnesota, just standing on top of a mountain. And then the right-hand picture is me with my sister in Colorado, just being goofy. Some more experience that I have outside of the society, a little bit inside the society as well, but I've done research. I've assisted in Rebecca Rylander, PhD candidate. I've helped in her nest box surveys and golden cheek warbler surveys. I have also done a significant amount of work through Texas Parks and Wildlife. I've done vegetation surveys. I've done pitfall traps. Actually, that bottom right-hand corner is, we found a little field mouse in one of our pitfall traps, and I got to relocate that little fellow. But I've also done one other thing that I've done with Texas Parks and Wildlife is I've done burn prep, or just help prepared for prescribed burn preparation. And let's see, another thing that I've done is I've done habitat restoration through U.S. Fish and Wildlife at the Trinity River Wildlife Refuge. And another thing that we did there was vegetation plot surveys. So I've had a lot of experience with birds, habitat restoration, vegetation plots. Again, I did habitat maintenance at the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. I've done a couple volunteer opportunities there. I also have some fresh ideas that I think I could bring to the society. I would like, as a Gen Z, I had to mention it. I think that we should have a society run TikTok just so that we can add it to the list. And with a larger social media involvement, I would like to do a social media committee with a social media committee chair, just since we are so heavily virtual right now. I think that having a committee that is centered around virtual engagement would not only be a great resume builder for members, but it would also just be another thing that we could do in this time. One more idea that I have is I would like to establish a Society Big Little program. So what that would entail is older or more seasoned members, so probably people that have been for about 2 semesters in the society, oversee new members to offer advice and just welcome new people into the society so that it really makes people feel more included. Alrighty, that is all that I have. Thank you. I am excited to see what we do this semester.
Cool. Thank you, Suzanne. Let's see. So let me end then as a co-host. Okay, I think for those people who have been co-hosts before, does it show you are no longer a co-host now?
Let's see.
Checking my list, and I think I got everybody.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't see anything.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, cool. Let's see. So that's it. So again, 3 candidates. I will publish the poll right now for vice president. Again, Josh already gave his talk, and then we have Kiana and Suzanne. So here it is. Couple more votes trickling in. Still looks like some people can't vote, but maybe because that's on your phone or something, I don't know. So I'll give it 10 more seconds to make your final vote. Okay, ready? The winner is Josh. Hey, Josh. So Josh continues with his tenure.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much, Josh. And thank you, everybody else. And the poll. Yep.
Awesome. So next is secretary.
Secretary. Okay, let's see. So for my list, again, I have Kiana is running for secretary. She just presented, so we'll hold off on her. Also, you will see all the names on the list, right? Suzanne is also running for secretary, correct?
Yeah.
And then the other person I have on my list is Courtney Velasquez.
Yeah. So
I haven't seen this meeting.
yeah, so she had a family emergency. She contacted me today, and she actually had a video recorded, and I can play that for everyone now.
Okay, so let me make you co-host, and then afterwards I will take you off co-host.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at that.
All right. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Courtney Velasquez and I'm running for secretary or historian. Sorry I'm not able to tune into Zoom live today. I had something come up. But let me go ahead and get to my presentation. Alrighty, so just a little bit about me. I'm 23. My major is wildlife biology. I recently actually just switched to that from plain biology. I'm a junior. I'm originally from San Antonio. I actually transferred from Palo Alto. It's the, if you know what that is, it's the community colleges in San Antonio. That first picture is of me in the BMB, the Bobcat Marching Band, a couple years ago. I've played trombone for about 7 years, baritone for 1, and ukulele for about 5. You would think I'd be really good at those, but I'm not. It's just kind of like a passive little hobby. Despite this picture of me catching my first fish, I'm vegan. I didn't actually eat it. That bottom picture is of me and my boyfriend Chris, and that top picture is the book I'm currently reading. I think it's about aliens. Not too sure. We don't know yet. It's the second book in the trilogy. My hobbies include reading, cooking, painting, sewing, watching anime, hiking, things along those lines. These are just a few of my paintings. They're honestly kind of tedious to me, so I don't really paint too often. I've just been like drawing on my iPad recently, using Procreate, and that's pretty fun. This is my cat, DC. Just want to show y'all her real quick. She's adorable. She's super fluffy. I've had her for about a year. This is Wesley. Me and Chris actually just adopted him. So if you have a really hyper energetic dog, let me know. We can set up a play date. This guy needs to get out. He's just extra puppy energy, psycho. and I'm actually pretty new to wildlife. I just changed my major last semester, and I've been trying to get as involved as I can. This first picture is at Sally's Raptor Rehabilitation Facility. It's me feeding Tadaway. He's a Mississippi Kite. He's my favorite. He's been there for a while. I believe he's a permanent resident. He's just really, he's really cute. That second picture right there is of me holding a snake. We were at the Twick or Tweet booth on Halloween where I helped pass out candy while educating kids about the different bird specimens we were presenting. That's me holding an owl right here in the top. And that last picture on the bottom was when we went to McKinney Falls to pick up trash along the trails and do a bingo hike. That was a lot of fun. Now here I've outlined some reasons to vote for me. And besides the fact that I'm so cool, I really hope you will give me the chance to show you how hardworking and reliable I would be as an officer. Thank you.
Oh man, that was awesome.
I can't believe that Daniel deal you got me on my shirt. Daniel, stay.
I think it's you. That was awesome. She likes turtles. Hold on one second. Okay, let's see. So I've removed everybody from co-host. Is that correct? Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so this is for secretary. And let me put up the poll. Let's see. So sorry, I forgot to edit this one. So you'll see Amanda's name on this. Clearly disregard Amanda's name. She already has a job. Okay. This was for backup in case some people didn't get positions. I'll edit the next one, so I forgot this one. So it's just Courtney who just spoke on the video, and Kiana and Suzanne, okay? Hit it. Couple more votes. One more vote. And then it would, well.
I don't want to vote twice.
Somebody voted for Amanda. Which really doesn't help my ability to gauge this. So I'm going to try something here. 1 second.
It wasn't me.
Okay.
Oh, it resent it.
Yeah, so I sent it again. Don't vote for Amanda. Probably vote for the same person you just did, except for Amanda. Couple more votes to come in. Can we get one more vote? 30 out 30.
Yeah, it's probably me, but I'm logged on my computer and my phone, so I don't want to vote twice.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, let's see. So we really should have worked this out beforehand. We discussed it, but we didn't have a resolution. There's a tie.
Gotcha.
How would you like me to proceed with the tie?
Yeah, so let's have the two folks that are in the tie express, well, are they able to speak live and express more details as to why they should be candidates?
Yeah, so let's give 1 minute, and then do we re-vote on just those two people?
I guess what I'm asking is, are those two people here?
Oh, they should be here.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
But then then we do a re-vote?
If you're able to,
Yeah.
that would work. Yeah.
Okay, so Kiana, do you want to take 1 minute or less and give us your final push on why you think you should deserve secretary?
Sure. 1 minute or less. Okay.
1 minute or less.
Okay. Well, I was secretary last semester and I really, really enjoyed it. It was honestly like such a great decision. I remember making the decision and being so scared, but I enjoyed it so much. And I think I really did a lot for the society while I was secretary. And I really have so many more ideas and so many more contributions I really want to share with you guys. And I want to keep being a part of this society. It's so amazing. It's the best thing that I've done so far. And I think I have a lot more that I can contribute to you guys. And I think it'll be a really good decision if you go with me.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so the tie was between Kiana and Suzanne. So now let's have Suzanne give us 1 minute or less.
All right, I'm ready. Okay, so I am a part-time student this semester, so I have a lot of time that I can dedicate towards the society. And on top of that, I do have a lot of proficiency in all Microsoft applications. I can type really fast. I'm very well organized. Being in the society is incredibly important to me because it is one of the ways that I came out of my shell. Just to be in a community of people that are so passionate about wildlife biology is incredibly gratifying. And just being around people that I vibe with is great. So I want to continue to inspire other people and welcome them into the society.
Cool. Okay, thank you so much, you two. Let's see, so I'm gonna relaunch it one more time. So this time you only have two options, either Kiana or Suzanne, okay? Even though you'll see the other names on there. Okay, one more time. A couple more votes yet to be casted. I'll give you 10 seconds. Okay, can I get a couple more votes? You guys make this really difficult for me when it's a close runoff.
Oh, no.
And there are two more people that could vote that can maybe help.
Remember that one extra person might be Lissy's extra computer.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, one is probably. Okay, well, I gotta say, oh, I got one more vote actually. Okay, ready? The winner is Suzanne.
Ah.
These are all really great. We have super fantastic candidates, so these are all very close runoffs. Let's see. So Suzanne is the secretary. Okay, thank you, everybody. Let me end this poll. Okay, let's see. So what I have next on my list, maybe this has changed, is for treasurer. And there were two people, Annalisa and Josh. And Josh already has a job. So there's one person at this point.
Yeah, so Lissy, it's your choice. You can present or you don't have to present. You can let the members get a chance to know you, or otherwise the position is yours regardless.
Yeah, I'll present.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just so we all get to know you more. Let's see. Let me make you co-host. And so you said choose the one that says Lissy, not Annalisa?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, all yours.
Okay, I'm just gonna make it short, simple, and sweet. Let me see, share screen. How about this? Okay. I have never, oh, here we go.
Play presentation at the bottom or at the top, yeah, and you're good.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay. So my name is Annalise Martinez. Y'all can call me Lissy. I'm the current treasurer of the Wildlife Society and have been since spring of 2019. And will be this semester too. And if I'm not looking at the screen, I'm looking at the computer because I'm just going back and forth. Yeah, so I just wanted to dedicate this slide to my family. So without them, I wouldn't be the person who I am today. My parents influenced my career path by being a very adventurous and outdoorsy family. So my dad would take us on these long hikes, and my mom would ID plants and animals that would cross our path. And so I had many interests in nature when I was young, and then with interests come hobbies. So I'm an avid hunter and fisher. I have a lot of it's very spiritual and emotional for me, hunting or foraging for my own food. It's also very wild and primitive, just the way I like to live for myself. And then also I like to use the animal as much as possible. I know some people find it very gross to skin an animal, but I find it very interesting and learning more about it and then using as much as I can with that animal so it doesn't go to waste. And then another hobby of mine would be hiking, camping, volunteering as much as I can, as well as scuba diving. So I'm a certified scuba diver, so y'all will either find me on land or in the water. And then with hobbies come experience. So in my case, experience in wildlife. So I am a beekeeper. I've been a beekeeper since I was 16 years old. So I extract my own honey, sell my own honey, and then take care of my bees and my beehive and make sure everything is checked and good. I also volunteer for Sally's Raptor Rehab. I don't have a picture on here, but I do volunteer there. I have been for over a year now. And then I also volunteer for All Things Wild. I've been volunteering since I was 15 years old. I've been volunteering there. Yeah, and so pretty much All Things Wild, I have experience hands-on with a lot of native wildlife, anything from as small as a hummingbird to as big as a deer, you know. So I have a lot of hands-on experience with that. And then also to the bottom left, I went electrofishing with Dr. Huffman and his grad student for grad research. That was really fun, as well as I have experience with Rebecca Rylander and her nest box checks, as well as Bandy the titmice with her. Yeah, and so with experience in wildlife, I also have certifications. So I have my basic wildlife rehabilitation certification, and that was in 2018. I got that in 2018. My core water quality citizen scientist certification, and that was for the Bobcat Stream team here in San Marcos. I got that in 2019. And my scuba certification in 2020. That was actually a class that I took here at Texas State. I highly recommend it. It's super fun, especially if you want to scuba. And I have been awarded top member of the Wildlife Society for fall 2019. I can say I do encourage y'all to be active in the Wildlife Society as much as you can. There are many experiences and opportunities, as well as networking in this organization. And then you really start to build for your career. as well as making a bunch of friends along the way. We are nerdy, but we are really nice and fun. And then also, it states in the Wildlife Society Constitution, so being a treasurer, the treasurer oversees collecting funds, organizing fundraising events, filing tax information, communicating financial status, and bookkeeping for the chapter's accounts. So I am very trustworthy. I have had many jobs as a cashier. I am currently working for a bank. I help take care of funds at many fundraisers, and I've been the treasurer of the Wildlife Society for 2 semesters now. And then I'm also very responsible, organized, friendly, and approachable. And then this is just a quote that I got from, actually it's right here. It's kind of dorky, but it's a camping journal. I got this a few weeks back when I went to Enchanted Rock State Park. I would invest in this book because it has like a lot of great things like location, how the weather and temperature was there, the site number, and then the ideal site number for like a possible return. But anyway, it's a great book. So a quote from the book is, "Life is an adventure. It's not the destination we reach that's most rewarding. It's the journey along the way. So write down your journey and treasure that memory forever." Thank you, and I'm glad to be y'all's treasurer again this semester.
Cool. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you want to end your talk? Hit escape.
Stop share, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Thank y'all.
Annalisa, treasurer.
Yeah.
I'm working at the bank, watching over our money.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me do one thing before we move on here. Okay, so it looks like we're down to historian, the final position. And the remaining candidates that I have are Kiana, who's already presented, Courtney, we watched her video, and then the final one is Matt Johnson, who has not yet spoken. So I presume you have a presentation you're ready to give, Matt?
Let's go. I got it.
So, there you go. You're the co-host now.
Okay. If y'all can't see something, tell me.
We can see it, just hit play is all.
Right.
It's good.
You good?
Yeah, we're good.
You're good.
My name is Matt. As you can tell, I'm the guy in the society with the gigantic beard and the noodle arms to go with it. It's a great combo, by the way. Small town Texas kid, grew up hunting and fishing my entire life. It's a really big pursuit. I think that's kind of what shaped the foundation for me getting into the wildlife program here after a couple of other majors that I figured were not my forte. Thankfully, I figured that out sooner rather than later. I've been with the society for almost 3 years, I guess, since the fall of 2018. This, as Amanda talked about earlier, was actually the conference from 2019 where we got, student chapter of the year. It's a great feeling when you have an entire room of people that are wildlife professionals and wildlife students at society, and it's a really big deal. And you feel great having all those people clapping for you. Things in the Wildlife Society and just kind of Wildlife Society. Deer capture, which Amanda and Josh have talked about. This is kind of my second family, thankfully. I found a really good place here. Down at this one right here, you can see Josh again. Josh and I have been on a lot of stuff together, thankfully. And the past President Sonia with some friends from Angelo State out at the Ward Walker Seven Oaks Ranch doing the prescribed burn that we did the first time we were out there. you meet a lot of great people. So I recommend being as professional as possible because you never know who's going to be a good contact later on. And you never know who you're going to meet in what position any day of your life. And as a lot of people have experience with, Rebecca's adorable black-crested titmice banding project that we all fell in love with birds because of. Thank to Rebecca. She did a lot for the society, and I'm sure that she'll still continue to do a lot even after she leaves here and leaves us in the dust and actually gets on with her fun stuff instead of dealing with us those little college kids. Hobbies. This is the thing I'm probably most passionate about right here, was picking up fly fishing. I picked it up recently, and it's a whole different world, I'm telling you. Even if you don't fish, just the sights that you see and just being out in the water and in nature, it's a chilling experience. It's great. You're pretty isolated. You kind of have the whole river to yourself most of the time. I'm big on hunting and fishing, like I said. As far as if you ever want to get into it, or if you ever want to know what policy is what legislation is what, I read the Outdoor Annual front to back, cover to cover every single year since I was 7 years old. So if you have a question about what's legal and what's not legal, I'm probably the guy to talk to about it. Other than that, probably the biggest hobby I've gotten into since I became a wildlife major is wildlife photography. This is something that a lot of people know me for now in the San Marcos area, thankfully, just because I'm so avid about it and I don't shut up about it, as most people in this chat that are left probably know. This is just kind of some of the stuff that I've done over the last, couple years that I started this little project. That top left one is probably one of the most fun and dangerous experiences I've ever had, because I went with Josh and a buddy of mine up to Caprock Canyon State Park, where the Texas State bison herd is, and they are very large animals, and you don't want to get too close to them because they can mess you up. But they're such beautiful creatures, and they're very, very calm as long as you keep your distance, which is 50 yards. Keep that number in mind. There's two numbers to keep in mind: 50 yards, and Dr. Walter will continually tell you this if you take his wildlife management course. 27 words. No more than 27 words on a slide. That's why you don't see any words anymore. Feed it into my head. But yeah, this is kind of the thing that kind of has kept me going a lot. And because of all the photography stuff, I actually, shameless plug, have to do it. Photographers have to do it. I run 2 separate Instagram accounts. And because I run 2 separate Instagram accounts, the top one is my personal one. The second one's my actual photography one, kind of my business, kind of more professional one. I've gotten into, because I'm a nerd, the actual research of the algorithms behind what has Instagram done to do, basically insights, promoting all that stuff, kind of what makes Instagram tick, what Facebook tick, Twitter tick, to where you can get more engagement, get more eyes on your stuff, which for the society, the more eyes you can get on the Facebook accounts and the Instagram accounts, the more people are exposed to our society, the more people are exposed. This year we probably won't be able to do shootout, unfortunately. But shootout is a big thing for our society. It raises a lot of money for the society. The more eyes you get on the society, the more, funding and resources we get for stuff like that. And we can actually do cool events. You can actually go out and do all the fun stuff, which unfortunately in this day and age takes a lot of money. So the more engagement, the more people, and we're big on educational outreach. We're huge on it. I've been doing it since I got in the society. Pretty much day one, hit the ground running. Educational outreach was beat into my head by Sonia, thankfully. Instagram's a huge thing. Twitter is a huge thing. You can get more eyes on your social media engagement and more kids and more youth and more adults involved. It's better off for wildlife, which is what we all want in the long run anyway, is what's best for wildlife. And with that, I try to keep it short and sweet, because anyone that knows me knows that I can talk for an hour without having to take a drink of water, especially Dr. Fritz. I don't think Fritz is still on here, but she knows. But yeah, COVID thankfully let me get back into photography, helped me pick up ukulele and guitar as well, and also freelance writing, which freelance writing is awesome if you actually have a passion for writing. and you get paid to do it, which is also great because we're college kids and we like to actually have money to buy things. And with that, yeah, it's about me. Very short, sweet, simple. That's how I like to do things normally.
All right, thank you so much, Matt. So let me see here. Let me do this. Okay, so let's see. So this is between Courtney. That's the video we watched. Kiana, do you want to wave again so we remember who we are? We haven't heard you since the beginning, really. And then Matt, of course, you just presented. And that's it, right, Amanda?
Yep, yeah.
Okay, so let me put up that final poll, and then we're going to wrap up tonight. Okay, there it is. Looks like just a couple people left to vote. So give it 10 more seconds. You always have a couple stragglers who don't vote. Okay. The winner is Matt Johnson.
Ah.
Good job, Matt. Good job, Kevin.
Thanks, guys.
That's awesome.
Okay, let me work that down. So that concludes all of our voting. Thank you, everybody. I'll see if Amanda has anything else to say, but I'll say thank you, everybody, for being here. Yes, tonight's meeting went a little longer than usual because of these elections. Otherwise, we try to get out of here before this time. So
yes.
Thank you, everybody. And Amanda, anyone else have anything else you want to say?
I want to say congratulations to the spring 2021 officer team. We are going to do some awesome things this semester. I'm again excited for everyone that had still run for candidate position or everyone who is a member. Stay more involved, and we are going to be seeing your faces regardless of this pandemic. So please keep in touch with everyone. Stay in tune to the Canvas page. We have a lot more events that are about to be just spewed out onto that calendar. So you want to stay in touch with that. I'll have the GroupMe up and running, and that'll be a quick way to communicate. And I'll have the Raptor GroupMe started, so that'll be a quick way for you to get training sessions done. But yes, meetings usually do not run this long at all. Typically, we try to get out of here by 7 o'clock because I know people have long evenings and long days on Zoom. But thank you for everyone staying in tune. Tonight was great. And let me just read the chat real quick. Yes, actually next meeting, we are going to mention how to get your certified wildlife biologist certificate through the Wildlife Society. And it's something that our school, Texas State University, structures in your degree plan for you to be able to receive that certification after school. And that is a huge part of your career in anything outdoor. So again, thank you so much. And everyone is more than welcome to sign off right now. Enjoy the rest of your evenings.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.